Hey Bears fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Chicago Bears. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. Kevin Stfansky, head coach of the Browns, didn't hold back after the clash against the Bears, and his comments have sent shockwaves through Chicago. In what seems like a rare moment of unfiltered honesty, Stfansky openly criticized the Bears' performance, questioning their discipline, strategy, and overall readiness. Sources say his remarks were sharp, highlighting multiple mistakes and a lack of cohesion on the field that, according to him, made it incredibly difficult for any opposing team to respect their game plan. The intensity in his tone and the choice of words suggested not only frustration, but also a deep-seated disappointment in what he saw as unprofessionalism. While coaches often deliver vague critiques to protect public image, Stefansky's approach was anything but subtle. Eyewitnesses report that players from the Bears seemed visibly upset by his words, whispering among themselves and exchanging looks that suggested a mixture of embarrassment and anger. Analysts immediately picked up on this, noting that such a public call-out from an opposing coach is rare and usually indicates underlying tension that could affect both franchises moving forward. The way Stfansky framed his critique left little room for doubt, painting a picture of a team struggling with internal issues, a lack of focus, and perhaps even leadership gaps that became glaringly obvious during the game. The fallout from Stefansky's comments has been immediate and intense. Fans of the Bears flooded social media, expressing outrage over what they perceived as disrespect, and some even questioned whether the coach was trying to distract from his own team's weaknesses. Rumors are now swirling that locker room meetings are already underway in Chicago, with veteran players reportedly upset about the public humiliation. Meanwhile, Browns insiders suggest that Stefansky's statements might have been a calculated move, aiming to exploit tensions and possibly destabilize a division rival ahead of upcoming matchups. Sports talk shows and pundits have dissected every word, debating whether Stfansky crossed a line or simply spoke a necessary truth about a team struggling to find its identity. Some experts argue that his comments reflect broader concerns about the Bears organization, pointing to coaching decisions, roster management, and recent performances as indicators of a deeper systemic issue. Others warn that this public confrontation could ignite a heated rivalry, with the Bears eager to prove themselves against the Browns in the next encounter. The drama has captivated fans from both cities, with every press conference, tweet, and interview now under intense scrutiny as everyone tries to read between the lines of what Stfansky really meant. Inside the Bears locker room, sources suggest the atmosphere has shifted dramatically. Players reportedly held extended meetings to discuss the coach's remarks, with some expressing frustration at what they saw as a lack of accountability from Stefansky's side. Tensions between younger players and veterans have allegedly grown, as debates over leadership, preparation, and performance intensify. Coaches and staff are said to be scrambling to manage morale, trying to prevent Stefansky's words from turning into a lingering source of distraction. Rumors indicate that some Bears players may be considering speaking out publicly to defend themselves, which could escalate the situation further. Meanwhile, Browns insiders claim that Stefansky's comments were fueled not just by frustration over the game itself, but by observations of patterns and tendencies that have plagued the Bears for weeks. Analysts point out that when a coach of Stefansky's experience calls out an opponent this openly, it can create ripples that last for months, influencing both team dynamics and fan perception. The tension has sparked debates about sportsmanship, respect, and the psychological warfare that occurs behind the scenes in the NFL, making this one of the most talked-about controversies of the season so far. The media frenzy has only intensified the situation. Every network, podcast, and sports outlet is dissecting Stefansky's remarks, replaying clips of the game, and analyzing player reactions. Social media trends have amplified the outrage, with hashtags circulating that both defend and condemn Stefansky's approach. Commentators speculate that the timing of his statements could be strategic, aiming to put pressure on the Bears coaching staff and to test the team's mental toughness. Meanwhile, insiders suggest that the Bears front office is already weighing potential responses, including statements, interviews, or even subtle moves to show that the team is united despite the criticism. Some analysts argue that this type of confrontation could backfire, motivating the Bears to perform better in future matchups, while others warn that it could deepen divisions within the team. Fans are divided, with some praising Stfansky for his honesty and others condemning him for what they perceive as unnecessary provocation. The debate raises broader questions about leadership, accountability, and how far coaches should go when publicly evaluating opponents, highlighting a drama that extends far beyond a single game and taps into the psyche of professional sports culture. Insiders reveal that the Browns' locker room is energized following Stefansky's statements, with players reportedly feeling a sense of confidence that their coach is willing to speak bluntly and defend his team aggressively. The morale boost for the Browns seems to contrast sharply with the discontent among Bears players, suggesting that the comments might have been as much a psychological tactic as an expression of frustration. Analysts argue that this kind of bold, confrontational approach can be a double-edged sword, rallying your own team while simultaneously igniting an opponent's desire to prove themselves. Rumors indicate that some Browns veterans believe this could set the stage for a tense and heated rivalry, one that might dominate headlines and social media narratives for weeks to come. In Chicago, sources hint at a brewing storm, with players and staff discussing strategy and morale behind closed doors, aiming to counteract the impact of Stefansky's words. Observers note that such dynamics often influence future games, as psychological factors, motivation, and team cohesion play significant roles in performance. The unfolding drama is captivating fans, analysts, and players alike, creating a narrative that seems almost cinematic in scope, blending strategy, ego, and emotion into a spectacle that transcends the scoreboard. Finally, the speculation continues to mount regarding the long-term consequences of Stefansky's candid remarks. Experts suggest that this could mark the beginning of an intense chapter in Browns-Bears interactions, with both teams potentially using the incident as motivation. Rumors of internal reviews, meetings, and potential statements from the Bears management circulate as the franchise seeks to regain control of the narrative. Sports psychologists argue that handling public criticism from a rival coach can impact player performance, decision-making, and team chemistry, and the Bears may be facing one of the most challenging psychological tests of the season. Meanwhile, the Browns appear poised to leverage the situation, with insiders claiming that Stefansky's willingness to speak freely is a statement of confidence and dominance. Fans continue to debate every nuance, from tone of voice to word choice, amplifying the speculation and feeding a narrative of rivalry, tension, and drama. As the story unfolds, it is clear that Stefansky's words are more than a post-game critique. They are a catalyst, setting off reactions that could shape the dynamics of both teams for the foreseeable future. The excitement, anger, and anticipation surrounding this controversy have created one of the most compelling storylines in recent NFL history, ensuring that every move, comment, and game between these teams will be scrutinized with heightened intensity. The Bears organization is reportedly on high alert, with internal sources suggesting that discussions are underway to address Stefansky's remarks in a measured way. Coaches are said to be evaluating the morale, media response, and possible actions to prevent the situation from escalating further. Some players reportedly feel compelled to respond publicly, while others advocate for silence, creating a complex internal debate. Analysts speculate that this split in opinion could lead to tension not only in the locker room, but also in future game plans, as coaches balance preparation with damage control. Rumors indicate that the front office is closely monitoring social media, fan reactions, and pundit commentary to gauge the broader impact, and they're considering measures that could include public statements, team-building initiatives, or strategic media appearances. Meanwhile, Browns insiders suggest that Stefansky's approach has already achieved part of its intended effect, drawing attention to the Bears' vulnerabilities while energizing his own roster. The ripple effects of this confrontation extend beyond a single team or a single game, influencing fan perception, media narratives, and the psychology of players and coaches alike. The Bears' response, or lack thereof, could define the tone for their season, shaping how they are perceived in the league and how motivated they become in upcoming challenges. The Bears fan base is reportedly experiencing a wave of confusion, anger, and disbelief following Stefansky's comments. Social media reactions range from outrage to defensive explanations, with some supporters questioning the team's leadership and others blaming external factors for perceived weaknesses. Analysts highlight that such a strong public reaction can pressure management and players alike, forcing them to respond not just on the field, but also in interviews, press conferences, and strategic communications. Inside sources hint that some veteran players are attempting to mediate between coaching staff and younger teammates, trying to unify the team in the face of scrutiny. Meanwhile, sports pundits debate whether Stefansky's remarks were an insult or a legitimate critique, further fueling public speculation and discussion. The narrative has grown into more than a post-game controversy. It is shaping perceptions of the Bears' identity, strategy, and leadership, with implications that may carry forward across the entire season. The team now faces the challenge of managing both internal morale and external perception, navigating a complex web of expectations, criticism, and rivalry that could define their trajectory. Insiders suggest that the Browns' locker room has adopted a heightened sense of confidence in the aftermath of Stefansky's statements. Players reportedly feel that their coach's boldness reflects not only honesty, but also strategic acumen, potentially destabilizing the Bears while motivating his own team. Analysts point out that such psychological tactics can influence the outcome of future games, creating a situation where mental fortitude becomes as crucial as physical performance. Rumors indicate that the Browns are already discussing how to leverage this advantage, with plans to maintain focus, discipline, and intensity while the Bears deal with the fallout. Experts note that this type of confrontation has historically led to intensified rivalries, heightened media attention, and increased fan engagement, all of which create a pressure cooker environment for both teams. Fans of both franchises are deeply engaged, dissecting every statement, gesture, and social media post, further amplifying the stakes and the narrative. The story has grown beyond a single game, evolving into a saga of ego, strategy, and psychology that may resonate throughout the season. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Media outlets continue to dissect the implications of Stefansky's candid remarks, exploring how they could affect team dynamics, public perception, and future matchups. Analysts highlight that such a public call-out is unusual and can have both positive and negative consequences, potentially motivating one team while challenging the cohesion of the other. Reports suggest that the Bears' leadership is carefully considering how to address the situation, weighing the risks of public statements against the benefits of internal resolution. Meanwhile, Browns insiders indicate that Stefansky's approach was intentional, a calculated move designed to assert dominance and test the resilience of an opponent. The conversation surrounding the incident has become a focal point for fan engagement, media commentary, and strategic speculation, transforming the post-game narrative into a broader story about leadership, rivalry, and psychological strategy. Every detail is scrutinized, from word choice to timing, as observers attempt to predict the long-term consequences of this dramatic confrontation. Rumors indicate that the Bears' coaching staff is reevaluating not only their preparation methods, but also their approach to player management and public communications. Sources suggest that the team may implement new internal protocols, hold motivational meetings, or adjust media strategies to counteract the psychological impact of Stefansky's remarks. Analysts argue that these steps, if executed well, could restore confidence, reinforce discipline, and mitigate the perceived damage caused by public criticism. Meanwhile, insiders hint that Browns players are encouraged to maintain composure, focus on their own performance, and allow Stefansky's comments to serve as a rallying point rather than a distraction. The situation has become emblematic of the high-stakes environment of professional football, where psychological warfare, media narratives, and player morale intersect in ways that can profoundly influence outcomes. Fans, pundits, and players alike are now watching closely, anticipating how each team will respond, adapt, and potentially escalate this rivalry in the coming weeks. The drama is far from over, and the narrative surrounding Stefansky's remarks promises to shape the NFL conversation for an extended period. Finally, speculation continues about the broader impact of Stefansky's post-game remarks on the league, fan engagement, and team psychology. Experts suggest that such public confrontations can ripple through divisional rivalries, affect ticket sales, influence merchandise interest, and even alter the dynamics of future drafts and trades. Rumors indicate that both the Bears and Browns are aware of the stakes, with internal discussions focused on leveraging strengths, addressing weaknesses, and managing public perception. Analysts debate whether Stefansky's comments represent a turning point in the season for either team, with potential consequences extending far beyond a single matchup. Meanwhile, fans continue to dissect every nuance, fueling a cycle of speculation, debate, and analysis that shows no signs of slowing. The story has evolved into a multi-layered saga, intertwining strategy, psychology, rivalry, and emotion, creating one of the most compelling narratives in recent NFL memory. The intensity, unpredictability, and drama surrounding Stefansky's remarks ensure that every subsequent interaction between the Browns and Bears will carry added weight, keeping fans, players, and analysts on edge and fully invested in the unfolding saga. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.